All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel where we pretend to do cinematography so that you don't actually have to, right? You can sit down, you can enjoy yourself here, and you can make yourself think that you're actually working, but you're not. But you might be getting slightly better. And in this little breakdown today, we're going to look at a film, Seven Psychopaths. We've looked at it in the past. This is a snippet from a much longer video over on Patreon. If you like these breakdowns, that's the spot to see it, right? Click the link in the description below. Go watch the entire video, and you will be there will be a deluge of cinematography information and knowledge that just floods over you in hundreds of these breakdown videos. And by the end of it, you're going to come out like the Albert Einstein of cinematography. You will just have so much knowledge, but you'll still probably be unemployed because nobody cares. You're going to have to convince them that they should care. Then you're going to have to be nice to them, and then they're going to have to do good things, and then you're going to have to be a part of those good things, maybe make them a little bit better. And then you're going to carve yourself out a little career. Good for you. Good for you on sticking with it. When everyone told you that you weren't very smart and that there was going to be no possible future in this business because there's too much competition, or you live outside of a major market, like those people don't know what they're talking about. They're space cadets. Look at you. You're doing it right now. You're working. You're getting better. Anyway, Seven Psychopaths. What's important about this is to remember, because sometimes it's hard. You're doing your little projects and they probably suck. They're probably terrible. They don't look very nice. You're wondering why. You know all of these things. You know about the framework. You know how to light things. You know the directions things should come from, but nobody's listening. Nobody's listening to you. It's just not turning out fantastic, and it's the resources. You don't have the tools, or you don't have the locations, or the art department, or the production design. There's something missing. It's not you. It's not your fault. Now, chances are it's actually your fault. But there are those few times when there are things that are not your fault. And this is a great example of that. Does everything have to match? Nope, not at all. Nobody cares about matching. You know what people care about? The story that they're watching. Like if it's a good story, guess what? You can be sort of not really good at cinematography. A lot of careers have been built around not really being a great cinematographer, but being attached to really great stories. Okay, that's just the reality of the situation. So I guess number one step here for thinking about it is find yourself someone that has a good story and then actually tell it. And then team up with them, and you'll probably have a pretty good career. If you can't find that, remember that not everything is your fault, right? If things don't match on daytime exteriors, guess what? Nobody cares. And if they do care, that's a sign that you're probably attached to something that isn't good in the first place. So just sweep it under the rug like it never happened. But matching? What are we talking about here? Matching? No, just backlight everything. Backlight everything, and then hope for the best. Like make every shot look good, and then just hand it over to the colorist and say like, meh, what was I going to do? It was sunny, and then it was cloudy, and then it was sunny, and we had to shoot it anyway because we had to get done in 2 days, and good luck. Like I'll see you in, I'll see you in Monaco for the get-together that we all do. All of the successful cinematographers, we all get together. We laugh about all the unemployed people. That's what we do. Anyway, so that is the breakdown that we're going to be looking at. Don't beat yourself up if it doesn't match. Like just make every shot look good, and then you're going to be fine. And rather than just me say it, you're going to watch it, and then you'll see. Let's go.
My main point here was that the geography of this, okay, so there's this guy, he's on a hill, right? He's aiming towards cars as they come in. It's full day. We go from full daylight, full harsh sun, to the very next shot. Nothing, soft as can be, right? No shadows, no nothing. Completely different time of day. No one cares. Again, the crash is completely different days, probably. We go from super harsh light to soft light. My point here being that we go from a scene before that is really well manicured, where there's so many different directions. Like you got to be, there's soft light there, that the thing goes behind the clouds. Then it's like, look at this, like super harsh light. Then we come around to here and there's no light. Where did the light go? Nobody cares because there is still a hint. Like this is Ben being optimistic. Well, at least, if the clouds don't come in, at least the light will be coming from behind, which is close enough. Like the rest of the stuff we just have to deal with, right? This is one of those things where if you were critiquing your own work here, you'd be like, man, there's so many lighting changes. But then when you're watching somebody else's movie, it just sort of plays in quite friendly and it doesn't really matter. Look at these levels back here, like pushing a whole bunch of level back in here. Where this is like the sun smush, right? Because we're not going to soften this because we got so much stuff happening in the scene. You can't go from soft to hard. Maybe you get away with the softening thing one time. And what I mean by that is maybe you go from the wide to a tight and you can soften. In this, when you have, however long this is like 5 minutes long scene, you're not going to soften the light because you're just going to have to get all these different eye lines and angles. It is just never going to work. You're overcomplicating it for yourself. Sometimes it just has to look like this. And maybe, I don't know if I'd go that much fill, but that's Ben's choice. Look at how the light changes from shot to shot. It's crazy. But still, on the shadow side of the line, right? Still using that sun. The sun is never in the shot. Always over this way. And where do we get to when it's almost sunset? Like there's a shot here that is so dark. This one. Like now the sun is in a completely different spot. It was over here before. Now we've rotated the whole scene. They've probably physically moved location here. The other stuff was filming over here, and now they just moved the camera because they're chasing the sun. Because they're behind. Come this way. Again, they like that. They like that. Shoot on this side of the line with the over, and then connect it with the profile shot. This one. So you can get it at the exact same time. Right? A cam over here, going that way. B cam sitting here, going this way. And the less you do on the ground, the more you can do with multicam. The more you try and finesse the lighting, the less you can do. Okay. And this is sun sandwich, right? Where is it? Sun sandwich, if we go full screen. See all this level over here? Not natural. If you didn't want to do that level, if you wanted to do the wrap, you would go bounce this way to over here and then neg. The reason you can't do it here, I'm sure, is because they're shooting multicam. And they have lots and lots of things to get. So you can't like have neg here in this shot and then the very next shot have no neg. It's too blatant. And we go, this is lit. You see this shot? Sun is over there. We're getting blasted with an 18K. This is probably like a pickup. There's real harsh light and there's, oh, where is it? So this is movie light, right? Notice the shadow. See how it gradually falls off, significantly prettier. And that's real harsh light. And that's nowhere near the same, right? Completely different. So, and then this one is in the dark. This shot here. It's basically dark out. And that one's dark too. So much less contrast. Now look at the shadow on the ground. There's nothing. He just shot somebody in the head. What happened? Sun over there. We're rotating the angle to follow the sun. Just make sure you're facing north the whole time. And then figure out which ways are going to work, not have the sun in the image, and then you can light the close-ups.
All right, so I hope you see what I'm talking about there. Like daytime exterior, it's never going to be close. You're going to cut from harsh light to overcast. And if you're, I don't know, if you even hear about that, if you even get that feedback on set, sometimes you'll be like, whoa, this doesn't match like what we did before. And you just look straight through them. Just don't respond. You just blink, 1,000-yard stare. And then normally they just sort of go away. You're like, well, yeah, it doesn't match. Who cares? It's not supposed to match, right? Like maybe in a dream world, like let's make it match. But if it doesn't match, you got to pull your weight with the story, right? You got to pull your weight with it. With the talent has to be on point, and then it better be edited together nicely. Because if it's not, they're going to see that it's not matched. So really, it's your fault, everyone else, if it doesn't match. It's not my fault. When in fact, I mean, you could do some things, but the point of showing you this is even on something large, even at something at scale, sometimes it just doesn't match. You can't beat yourself up over it. You can do all your little tricks, you backlight everything. It makes sure that it all feels a little bit consistent. But, and even if it's overcast, right? The point is, even if it's overcast, backlight like it's not overcast. So prepare for sun. Even if it's the middle of winter, there's no chance there's ever going to be sun, prepare like there's sun. And then that way, you have all your bases covered. So yeah. Don't beat yourself up unless you want to, and then beat yourself up. But you should probably see someone. If that's the first urge you have after a shoot is to beat yourself up, you got problems. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. Many thanks. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.